you can get to a case where this can be a much bigger company, $2 trillion plus company, based on this is the real substance of the bull case, is a business model that is more like a traditional tech model. We've talked a lot about this, but that's the substance of the valuation case, is that if they are successful at hardware, software services similar to Apple, and look at what Apple trades at, about a 6 revenue multiple, you can build a case that Tesla can get there too. I think that there is a strong case for long-term investors will be rewarded. Near-term, again, all bets are off.
Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So in this video, we're hearing from Tesla stock analyst Gene Munster, who's among the few analysts I believe on Wall Street who generally speaking actually understand the company that is Tesla. Gene believes that Tesla can reach a $2+ trillion valuation over the next 5 years, which would make it about the same size as Apple is today. And just between you and I think Gene is actually massively underestimating Tesla. With that said, let's get into the video. And by the way, since I know there's a lot of crypto lovers watching and people who like free stuff, it's your lucky day. For a limited time, you can get up to $250 in free crypto bonuses when funding a new account on BlockFi, where you can use cryptocurrency to earn interest, borrow cash, and buy or sell crypto. If you want your free crypto, use the link in the description. It also helps out the channel. And if you'd like up to 2 free stocks, check out the link in the description to WeBull. If you open a new account, you'll get 1 free stock valued up to $250 just for opening an account. And if you fund your account with $100, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,600. Unless you don't like free stocks, that is. And if you're in Australia, the UK, or New Zealand, you can get a free stock with stake, also using the link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Loop Ventures founder and managing partner. It has been very difficult to short Tesla over the years, unless you do it for a very short period of time and you catch the right window, Gene.
About the future, I think Phil summed it up so well when Lamborghini talked about a total EV a decade out. And that's the dicey part of this short call ultimately, is when you're shorting a theme, it gets really dangerous. I was a sell-side analyst for a long time. I made many of an incorrect call. The most frequent mistake that I made as an analyst was making a recommendation based on valuation when there was a secular theme.
Wonderful moment of humility here from Gene Munster, but more importantly than that, really key insight. Many analysts out there have talked about Tesla stock and said things along the lines of, the valuation's insane, the multiple doesn't make sense. You guys probably heard in the media a lot of the FUD going around about Tesla. Tesla's now worth more than Ford. Tesla's now worth more than General Motors and Ford combined. Tesla's now worth more than Volkswagen and Toyota and Ford and General Motors combined. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with pointing out this fact. Problem is, most of these so-called analysts, and I'm using the term exceedingly loosely here because I have total lack of respect for people who can't do their jobs competently. I mean, maybe that's a harsh judgment, but that's just the way that I feel about things. If you suck shit at what you're doing, you're getting paid to do something and you're really fucking terrible at it, you deserve as much ridicule as can possibly be thrown your way. Not to bring you down, but to wake you the fuck up. Make you a little bit better at what you're doing, cause a few less people to lose money because they followed your trash advice, etc. And in the case of Tesla, one of the errors of judgment these so-called analysts have made, and of course many other retail investors out there who thought it was a good idea to short the company, etc., is that they immediately switched their brain off after discovering that Tesla's valuation was high relative to other automakers and didn't think at all about why that could be. Their rate of growth, the technology, the fact the entire world is transitioning to EVs, as Munster point out. This is a theme. We are transitioning to electric vehicles. The internal combustion engine vehicle industry is dead. Therefore, the valuations of these companies should be dramatically lower than the likes of Tesla because this is the old world. You're putting a valuation on the Titanic, a dinosaur. Of course it's going to be lower than a huge growth company that's ushering in this new era of electric transportation. Gene has the awareness now to point out the error of his ways in the past by making this mistake. Oh, the valuation's very high, I don't recommend this, while completely ignoring the secular change, the thematic change, the transition in this case to electric vehicles. And he's right, this is one of the core reasons why so many people foolishly shorted Tesla stock. Not because they actually looked at the situation from a bird's eye view and tried to understand all the pieces of the puzzle, all the moving parts, what's actually happening. Instead, they got stuck in cell C69 in their spreadsheet and thought, you know what, I don't like the valuation, doesn't make sense, therefore short Tesla stock. And as we know, that generally speaking hasn't worked out very well. There are very few people, I believe, who have taken a short position on Tesla stock who actually understood what they were looking at. Instead, they've all been reasoning by analogy, getting caught up in the valuation. Oh, they only make 500,000 cars a year. How on earth are they worth more than Ford are? I don't understand.
Phil's comments about the growth in EVs, it is quite spectacular. And the simple reason I put that as an undeniable truth, And so when I think about investors betting against Tesla for the long term, that's ultimately the question is probably orbits somewhere around market share and ultimately what their market share and will they be successful in autonomy. But I think a risky bet to go against this company long term. And I just want to say one more thing, Andrew, is that the near term, the stock is still up a lot over the past year. It was $160 12 months ago. It's much higher today. And so I'm not saying that the stock has hit a bottom, but what I am saying is for a fundamental short call, it is a headwind to short against this theme.
I'm in complete agreement with Munster on this point as well, although I do want to be clear. It is theoretically possible to make an enormous amount of money shorting Tesla stock, providing that you can actually predict the timing. Maybe having a time machine or a crystal ball would be helpful.
But if you let's say you want to own this company or not, and we had this conversation 5 years from now. 5 years. Let's give it a full-on 5 years.
Guys, is there a glitch in the simulation today? We just witnessed a CNBC anchor asking an analyst about a stock with a 5-year investment horizon instead of 5 milliseconds. Is this happening?
What do you think the price of this stock is? What do you think their market share is? What does the EV world look like? What does the vehicle world look like 5 years from now?
So the share goes from about 80%, 70% in the U.S. today, 30 and 20% in Asia. I think globally, effectively, market share for EVs will be just car market share. And to answer your question, okay, I think that it's going to gravitate around 20%. If you look at big automotive makers like Volkswagen, that's around 15%. So I think that they will have an outsized market share. If they get there 5 years, to jump forward 5 years, what this company ultimately could be worth, if you get to that 20% mark, and in 5 years, we're going to be thinking about 6, 7 years out, you can get to a case where this can be a much bigger company, $2 trillion plus company based on this is the real substance of the bull case.
There's a lot to digest there from Gene Munster. Big call suggesting that Tesla can capture around a 20% share of the global automotive market. I'm expecting Tesla to capture somewhere between 20 to 30% of the global automotive market over the longer term. Very surprising to hear an analyst as bullish as I am, but I believe he's going to be right. And Munster also there suggesting that he can see Tesla stock quadrupling approximately to about a $2 trillion valuation over the next half decade or so. I won't be surprised if this is actually a massive underestimation.
Is a business model that is more like a traditional tech model. We've talked a lot about this, but that's the substance of the valuation case, is that if they are successful at hardware, software services similar to Apple, and look at what Apple trades at, about a 6 revenue multiple, you can build a case that Tesla can get there too. And so I think ultimately there's a question around competition, but I think that there is a strong case for long-term investors will be rewarded. Near-term, again, all bets are off.
In the near term, speak to the issue of these tax credits, and that they're not really tax credits. They're credits that they're selling, environmental credits, effectively. And what happens to that? Because that is part of the Burry thesis.
Well, it's in my view, it should be part of the the bull thesis. And the reason is I don't think that we're at anything close to ending these tax credits. They were ended. They will likely get restarted again for Tesla owners. It would be about a $7,000 tax credit, so call it about, on an average, about a 12% discount to a Tesla. That's a big deal that they've been putting up the kind of numbers that they have, accelerating growth off of higher numbers, despite any consumer that is keeping tabs of what the Biden administration is saying could expect these tax credits.
So it looks like Gene misunderstood the question there from Andrew. I think Andrew was asking about the zero emission vehicle credits rather than the tax credits for people actually purchasing the vehicles. But in either case, Gene has a really great point here. There's definitely a lot of consumers who are aware that the Biden administration is likely to reactivate these tax credits for Tesla purchases in particular. There's probably many people sitting on the sidelines, many consumers just waiting for that new incentive to come back to actually purchase a Tesla. And despite that, Tesla's still selling every vehicle they make. In fact, they sold out all of their Q2 production about 1 month into the quarter, suggesting there is an insane amount of demand above and beyond what Tesla's already producing without any tax credit applied to purchase of the vehicle. And just imagine what happens if that EV tax credit comes back. To be honest, I think Tesla will actually need to raise their prices, because if they don't, that's going to create an even larger surge of demand, cause huge wait times, and just piss off a lot of consumers.
Elon Musk, where's my wife's car, bro? I've been waiting 6 months. I've had the baby. I need a good car. I gotta protect my daughter. Let's go, Elon. Get me my car.
So yes, I understand that the sales have been great. I think that the tax credits will be a continued boost over the next year plus, but I think that they're going to ultimately continue. I think that the government is going to continue to subsidize this.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It seems that with each passing month, Gene Munster becomes ever more bullish on Tesla. He's made some huge calls in this interview, suggesting that he can see the company reaching a $2 trillion valuation in the next 5, 6, 7 year time horizon, and that he believes Tesla can achieve a 20% share of the global automotive market. And let me know in the comments below, when do you think that Tesla's going to reach a $2 trillion market capitalization for the first time? I'm Stephen Mark Ryan, this is Solving the Money Problem, and I love you all. And don't forget, if you'd like up to $250 in free crypto bonuses with BlockFi, use the link in the description. You can also get 2 free stocks with WeBull and a free stock with Stake, also linked in the description. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. If you'd like early access, exclusive videos, regular Q&As, our private Discord server and more, consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can keep creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. You can now also become a member of the channel for some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. And don't forget to check out our merch store. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again.